are live, but the record button is not lit. Let me just check. We are live though on YouTube. Just a moment.
Charlie, check it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it.
Yeah, check my hair. You gotta look good, you're sitting next to me.
That's why I plan that out.
Can't possibly look this bad.
They say, man, you bring your grandfather to every one of those meetings? I said, yes, I do.
Is it labeled the September 6th board meeting? That's what it's called on here, live.
It must have held the name from the prior meeting. I can change it immediately
Yeah.
after.
Okay. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if everybody would remain standing for a moment of silence, we lost two Warwickians recently. The wife of former Mayor Anthony Portelli, Lorraine Portelli, and Charlie Neerman, who was gave 60 years of service to the volunteer firemen. So if you would bow your heads. Thank you.
Trustee Cheney?
Here.
Trustee Foster?
Here?
Mayor Newhart?
Here.
Trustee McKnight?
Sure.
Stephen Gaba?
Present.
Mike Mosher?
Here.
And Trustee Lindberg will be joining us a little bit late.
May I have a motion to accept the reports July 2022 Building Department and August 2022 Clerk's Office, Tax Collection Justice Department, Building Department, Planning and Zoning, and Department of Public Works.
Motion?
Do you have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
And motion for authorization to pay all approved and audited claims in the amount of $229,577.50.
So moved?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we'll move forward to the announcements. And Tom, would you do the announcement, please?
Yes.
Actually, if you want to read the press release, that might be better.
Yes, my email. Yeah, I got it right here.
There you have it.
Warwick residents can drop off their food scraps at the food scraps drop-off site at Warwick Valley Farmers Market. The food scraps drop-off site will be available to the public every Sunday at the market between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., September 4th through November 20th. Trained volunteers at the food scraps drop-off site at Warwick Valley's Farmers Market will educate participants on how to separate food scraps from solid waste generated at home and how to drop off food scraps at the drop-off site location. Food scraps collected at the market will be transported by volunteers from Sustainable Warwick to a local farm where it will be composted at no cost to the public. The location of the food scraps drop-off site at Warwick Valley Farmers Market will be near the Farmers Market Manager's Tent at 21 South Street in Warwick. All meat and dairy, as well as any food scraps generated from businesses, will not be accepted at the food scraps drop-off site at the Warwick Valley Farmers Market. Additionally, Warwick residents may order composting bins and rainwater collection barrels at the website enviroworld.us/Orange County NY. All sales must be taken place online. The next order distribution will take place on Saturday, September 24th at the Warwick Valley Community Center at 11 Hamilton Avenue from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay, thank you very much, Tom. And also we have a letter from Raymond and Eugene Meyer regarding a draft Village of Warwick comprehensive master plan and the village's cluster code. And we'll open it to privilege of the floor if you'd like to speak to the board this evening. Please state your name, give us your information. Okay. So we'll move right on to motions. Trustee Cheney?
Resolution setting a public hearing on the Village of Warwick Draft Comprehensive Plan. Whereas the Village Board, with the assistance of the Comprehensive Plan Committee, has prepared a draft comprehensive plan update, and whereas this is an action subject to the provisions of the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQR, and whereas the Village Board has caused an environmental assessment form, EAF, to be prepared. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. 1, that the Village Board is the sole involved agency and as such assumes lead agency status and determines that the proposed adoption of the updated comprehensive plan constitutes a type 1 action under SEQR. And 2, that a public hearing on the updated comprehensive plan is hereby set for October 17th, 2022 at 7:30 p.m. and that due notice of the same is directed to be given by publication and posting. 3, that a copy of the updated comprehensive plan shall be placed on file in the office of the village clerk and posted on the village website for public review. And 4, that the updated comprehensive plan shall be referred to the village planning board for review and comment. And 5, that the updated comprehensive plan shall be forwarded to the Orange County Planning Department pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 239M.
Second.
And a roll call vote.
Trustee Cheney?
Yes.
Trustee Foster?
Yes.
Trustee McKnight?
Yes.
Mayor Newhart?
Yes.
Motion to grant permission to DPW Supervisor Mike Moser to carry over 1 additional vacation day. A previous request to carry over 5 vacation days was approved on August 15th, 2022.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to grant permission to Village of Warwick employee Peter Pasco to carry over 5 vacation days.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Motion to approve the fiscal year 2022 to 2023 budget modification and transfer requests as per the village treasurer's letter dated September 14th, 2022.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to grant permission to the Warwick Valley Community Center to hold the following activities in Stanley Deming Park on the east side of the creek as per their letter dated September 13th, 2022. Applefest Eve Kitty Carnival on Friday, September 30th, 2022 from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday, October 1st, 2022 from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. and on Applefest Sunday, October 2nd, 2022 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., including pony rides by Winslow Therapeutic Riding Center, subject to the following restrictions. Only ride and concession equipment can remain in the park. There will be no campers or RVs overnight except for liability purposes and to prevent damage to the equipment. 1 carnival employee only is permitted to stay overnight in the company trailer in Stanley Deming Park. No ride equipment may enter or be removed from the park without the Village of Warwick Department of Public Works supervisor or his designee present. The equipment cannot enter the park prior to 9 a.m. the Wednesday prior to the event and must be removed by 3 p.m. the Tuesday following the event. If the carnival company needs to come in to set up earlier than Wednesday prior, they will need the permission of the DPW supervisor. Assembly or breakdown and removal of the equipment may occur only between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Completed park permit and security deposit have been received. Approval is contingent upon the Village of Warwick's insurance carrier's confirmation that proper insurance is in place.
Second.
Any questions?
Just one point of discussion, and you know, some of this falls on the village itself, but parking can be illegal parking can be an issue there at that location. So I think we need to put our heads together and come up with some good ideas that would prevent people from parking illegally in those areas. So Mike, I'll look to you and maybe the mayor and I, anyone else that wants to chime in, certainly, as to how we might do that, because Too Good to Toss, people parked illegally and basically blocked half the road. So it was difficult for vehicles to move.
Where is the parking happening illegally? On the, not on the grass, it sounds like when you
Well,
said that it blocks half the road.
most of it's between the last parking spot as you're heading east.
Oh.
So, past the basketball court there are a number of places where you can pull off, and it just seems that, once 3 people do it, and
Yeah.
it's somewhat obvious, they're not sticking out into the road, but somebody else pulls in next to them, and somebody else pulls in
Right.
next to them, and, you've got the tail end of vehicles that are totally across one lane of traffic.
And
about-
there's no parking signs there, correct?
Yes, there are no parking signs there.
So what about like a stake with the neon thread? Is that something that might work?
I think that's a possibility. Horses to put in there. I mean, the horses are probably gonna be there for
The
the
pony
roadway. No, for the roadway.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
not the pony horses.
I was trying to help you. Yes, sir. Just kidding.
Okay, well, definitely, it has to be coordinated.
And also, I'd like to have the community center reach out to the school district to make sure that they've got an agreement to
To use their
use
parking
the
lot.
parking lot.
Well, we have a meeting tomorrow with the community center, so we will make sure that that's brought up.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we have a second. All in favor?
Aye. Motion to grant permission to the Warwick Valley Community Center to hold the following events in Stanley Deming Park on Applefest weekend on the west side of the creek. Friday, September 30th, 2022, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. by the Pavilion, an outdoor movie night. Saturday, October 1st, 2022, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. by the Pavilion and Gazebo, pottery demonstrations, yoga, martial arts, small performances by Acting Out Playhouse, and more, including music beginning at 5:30 p.m. and ending by 9:30 p.m. by DJ Stephen Regan and local bands. No loud music. Completed park permit, security deposit, and proper insurance have been received.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So,
Would you like me to read that?
yes, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. Motion for the resolution, a resolution dispensing the residency requirement for village election inspectors. Whereas pursuant to the terms and provisions of Public Officers Law, Section 3, village election inspectors must reside within the village which they have been appointed to serve. And whereas pursuant to the terms and provisions of Village Law, Section 3-302A, a village board of trustees may, by resolution, waive the residency requirement for village election inspectors and appoint to such position any individual who resides within the county in which the village is situated. And whereas the Village of Warwick will be conducting an election in March of 2023, and whereas the village board wishes to waive the residency requirement for village election inspectors in the March of 2023 election and in future elections. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. 1, that pursuant to Village Law, Section 3-302A, the village board hereby waives the residency requirement for village election inspectors imposed by Public Officers Law, Section 3, and authorizes appointment of any resident of Orange County to serve as an election inspector in the Village of Warwick for the election in the March of 2023 and future elections. And 2, that a certified copy of this resolution shall be provided to the Orange County Board of Elections. And 3, that the mayor is authorized to execute any documents necessary to carry out the provisions of this resolution.
May I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Trustee Cheney?
Yes.
Trustee Foster?
Yes.
Trustee McKnight?
Yes.
Mayor Newhart?
Yes.
Motion to approve the New York State Local Retirement System Standard Workday and Reporting Resolution for Village of Warwick trustee Carly Foster with a record of activities of 8.7 average days worked per month.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to issue a Village of Warwick taxi cab license to John Knowles, owner of Warwick Taxi LLC, through May 31st, 2023, per Village Code Chapter 126. Proof of New York State Department of Motor Vehicles driver's license, New York State livery registration, and Village of Warwick background check and license fee have been received. Warwick Police Department background check has been completed and approved.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution creating the Village of Warwick Climate Smart Communities Task Force. Whereas on July 2nd, 2019, the Village of Warwick resolved to adopt the Climate Smart Communities Pledge. Whereas on July 2nd, 2019, the Village of Warwick resolved to establish energy benchmark requirements for certain municipal buildings. Whereas the Village of Warwick intends to further assess how climate change will affect the Village of Warwick and its residents, take further steps to reduce the village's contributions to climate change, acquire funding for such projects that address climate change. Whereas the Village of Warwick considers that the New York State Climate Smart Communities Initiative is a valuable framework to help the village increase environmental sustainability and lead the community by example. The Village of Warwick wishes to obtain certification under the Climate Smart Communities program. Whereas establishing a Climate Smart Communities Task Force is a mandated action in the Climate Smart Communities certification program. Whereas the Climate Smart Communities Task Force is the leadership body responsible for documenting and submitting climate-related actions taken by the Village of Warwick to the New York State Climate Smart Communities program, and to advise the village officials on additional actions the Village of Warwick may take to further its environmental sustainability progress. Whereas the Climate Smart Communities Task Force will consist of community members and municipal representatives who will meet at least twice per year and maintain meeting minutes and attendance records for each meeting. Therefore, be it resolved, the Village of Warwick Board of Trustees establishes a Climate Smart Community Task Force with the initial members as 1. Village of Warwick Trustee Carly Foster, 2. Village of Warwick Planning Board Chairman Jesse Gallo, 3. Sustainable Warwick and Greenbelt Preservation Society Christina Thomas, 4. Village of Warwick resident Dr. Richard Von Stein, and 5. The named CSC coordinator. Be it further resolved that the Village of Warwick appoints Village of Warwick trustee Tom McKnight as the Climate Smart Communities coordinator.
Second.
Trustee Cheney?
Yes.
Trustee Foster?
Yes.
Trustee McKnight?
Yes.
Mayor Newhart?
Yes. And I want to say bravo, congratulations. You did a lot of work.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you. In a very short window, and really probably your first initiative as a trustee, and it's great. Thank you very much.
Nice job.
Yeah. And so, reports. Oh, wait,
Well,
wait, yes.
I have another motion.
We have a little addendum here.
Motion to authorize the purchase of a 2022 Moorbark Eager Beaver 1415 brush chipper from A. Montano Company, Inc. at a cost of $61,230.81 per the recommendation of DPW Supervisor Michael Moser. Purchase is made through a competitively awarded contract by Sourcewell, a service cooperative legally established in Minnesota. Funds are appropriated in budget code A5110.2350.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So, reports. Trustee Cheney, do you have a report tonight?
Yeah, I'd just like to report to everybody that the village, through its consultant, Barton and LaJudas, has submitted a WIA application to New York State. The application covers 2 projects, the main storage tank at the reservoir that needs to be replaced, and the treatment system for our well number 3. The total price of those projects is $4.277 million, and the maximum grant award is 60%. So we're very hopeful that we will be selected this time and receive the maximum.
Very good. And Trustee
And
Foster?
just, I just want to thank Trustee Foster because she was very much involved in helping with that application and giving some excellent input.
Are you gonna speak to the?
You can do that, yeah. Sure.
So I'm going to announce the Orange County, New York Senior Games. This is the 2022 year-round Senior Games. Opening ceremony September 21st, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It will be located at the day camp area of the Thomas Bull Memorial Park, located at 211 New York 416 in Montgomery, New York. There will be music, Zumba, drop-in games, a 1-mile walk, and lunch also provided. There will also be nature hikes and a scavenger hunt on September 22nd from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The rain day for that is September 27th, located at the Bellevale Bruderhof community on 359 Gibson Hill Road, Chester, New York, 10918. There will be cookies, coffee, and lunch provided, 2 hikes to choose from, and a fun scavenger hunt. There will be a one-time fee of $15 and registration form to attend the senior games. That fee gives you access to all senior game events throughout the year. So for more information and to register, contact Kathy Barnett at 845-615-3713. That's 845-615-3713, or K Barnett, BARNETT, at orangecountygov.com.
And we are posting this on our Facebook page as well.
Yeah, that'll also be available on social media.
Yep. Anything else?
Well, I don't want to steal your thunder on the
I'll
New
talk-
York Forward.
I'll
Can you
talk
speak
about
to
New
that?
York Forward.
And then I
You
can
wanna-
talk about NICOM?
Yeah.
Okay. So the mayor and I attended the NICOM conference last week, which was my first attendance, and I learned a lot as a new trustee. I attended sessions related to funding for local government. I learned a lot about things that are coming down the pipe, as well as debt issuance processes and bonding, a lot about sort of new energy opportunities, which I think we'll probably discuss in future board meetings, public water and sewer system operations, regulations around traffic safety. That's something that is really important to me as a trustee. And I learned a lot about policies and procedures that are required and recommended for managing the city and local government. And I had some correspondence with Raina to make sure that we're all buttoned up there, and we are. So that was really excellent. And it was good to read all of those. And I had a good session listening to the general counsel, Wade Beltramo, and also got a good update on what's happening in Albany. So overall, I think that was an extremely good use of time and energy, and I'll be happy to share notes and
Yep.
things with anybody.
And this particular session is focused on newly elected and also clerks and treasurers, and which is wonderful in that you really get to understand the responsibilities that they have to the municipality and the enormity of their job, clearly. So,
Yeah. There was a lot of emphasis on how running a local government is not like running a business,
right. It's true.
legally,
Yeah.
et cetera. So, it was good.
Good. Sir?
So the Albert Wisner Public Library, they are going through a strategic planning process. So similar to how we did our village comprehensive plan, there is an element of community outreach. The patrons for the library are really anyone within the Warwick School District, but they will be reaching out over the next few weeks to residents with surveys trying to get their input. So I urge anyone who's listening or reading this to really, once you see that survey, to respond, because I think the library is a great asset to our community. And they rely on that community feedback. Aside from that, the library will be closed for Applefest, October 2nd. The following week, there is a highly regarded children's book festival, which the library has done historically, on October 8th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and that'll be in Stanley Deming Park. Every time I've been there, it gets a great turnout. And then there's a fall art show at the library that will be from October 17th to December 30th, and right now, the application process for that is open. So that covers the library. As far as the zoning board, we still have an opening for an alternate member. And I would just like to clarify that the zoning board does not meet every month. It is not a large time commitment. They meet when there is an item on the agenda. So we are looking for an alternate member. Again, not a large time commitment, but very important to what the ZBA does.
Very good.
And that's it for my report.
Thank you. That's great. I wanted to report about a program that we are applying for. It's called New York Forward, and we're in the midst of the application process. It's a grant. It's through the Department of State, the New York Department of State, and it is part of the DRI, which is the Downtown Revitalization Initiative that the state created about 5 or 6 years ago. The DRI, or the Downtown Revitalization Initiative, had a grand prize of $10 million per municipality. And not that easy to get, very competitive, but really geared to and focused on larger municipalities, small cities throughout New York State. And many of them have taken advantage of it and have seen transformational projects that really have made a great difference in local economy and also in terms of placemaking, truly have taken some very depressed cities and really made them shine and really changed them in terms of their direction. So when that went into place, actually, the New York Council of Mayors and started lobbying for a secondary tier because it was clear that DRI was really focused on this very larger municipalities. And so finally this year, the Department of State did create that second tier. And the second tier is focused on smaller, rural, historic, walkable communities, which sounds like Warwick. And so for the past 25 days, we've been trying to get our grant packets together. It's very intense, and it's within 20 pages, we have to show whoever is going to review it, which will be reviewed regionally in the Mid-Hudson for whomever should get the grant. The grant is $5 million, and it can be divided between 2 municipalities at $2.5 million if the board of directors from the Mid-Hudson.
The REDC.
REDC,
Yeah,
thank
the
you.
Regional Economic Development
Thank
Council.
you. Makes that decision. So anyway, I just want to say that I'm excited because it's been a collaborative work. Carly has been involved, Trustee Cheney, Trustee McKnight has all had some input into this process. I think a lot of people on the surface might say, oh, well, Warwick, it's the shining example of downtown and downtown revitalization. It's already happened here. But the reality is, post-COVID, things have changed dramatically, and we have more visitors per square inch than ever before. And those visitors come with needs and also challenges. So that's the type of thing that we are really understanding and looking at, because it's also about moving on to the next level and to be able to embrace new businesses, new entrepreneurs, and this type of grant will really give us the capabilities of doing that. Do you guys want to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, some of the key themes of the grant are sort of also serving the needs of the residents that are here now and what they need from the downtown. And you may have seen the mayor and I out last weekend kind of confirming that we were on the right track in terms of the initiatives and the goals, because we've gathered a lot of input over the course of the last 18 months through the comprehensive planning process about what people want to see from the downtown. But a lot of themes of walkability, having a welcoming place, making downtown a place that all of our needs can be met in the same location, so greater diversity of stores. And how do we create a framework, or how do we create an environment that really enables that to happen? Bump outs to increase pedestrian safety. So a lot of things like that.
Tom?
You've done a great job Put a lot of hard work, so.
Well,
thank
you know, and Job, and you bring in the whole idea of a climate smart community, which is critical too, in terms of whatever we do as we move forward. And it should be colored with that, because that really makes such a difference in any kind of redevelopment. Barry, anything?
I think we're on the right path.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that
Yeah.
it comes through.
Yeah,
And if it doesn't work out this year, we'll go after it again next year.
that's right.
You know, we're not going to
Absolutely.
stop going after this money until we get it.
The one thing I think that is important, and why we decided to move forward with this application, was after a year and a half of public outreach for the comprehensive master plan, we had this body of vision. We had this body of thoughts, ideas from the municipality, from the people that live here. And that was golden, because that is really where in essence, it should come from. And so I think that's what excited us, that we've already done a lot of legwork, and we've created a direct, sort of a direct line of people's true understanding of what they want or what they dream that we could be. And that was, I think, the most important part that we saw in writing the application. So. Okay, so we do have final comments from the floor. Would anybody like to? Would the reporter like to ask us any questions about the?
I think I got it all.
You got it all? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a long day at the school.
Yeah, I imagine, yeah. Final comments from the board? No. We have to go into executive session. And Carly, if you would, let's see. I think this would be. the
This
most
one, right
appro-
here?
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, I'm late.
You're just in time for the executive session.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll turn everything off.
So when we come back from executive session, we will just close the meeting. There will be no further business that will be done.
I'm gonna go stop the live stream.
Okay.
Just a moment.
Hey. I've never sat over here.
Oh, brave new world.
Come late, look at, choose your seat, no, I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, I did bring my nameplate back. I